A WWE legend is backstage at tonight's Impact Wrestling Sacrifice event in this breaking Impact Wrestling news. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. So a little bit of breaking news when it comes to Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. This might be a bit of a spoiler. Maybe it might be nothing. So just a bit of a heads up when it comes to this. So we might be talking spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled when it comes to tonight's Impact Wrestling Sacrifice event, be sure to skip the video now. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Right, let's get into it because a former WWE star, WWE legend, is backstage at tonight's Sacrifice event, and that is Santino Marella. Now, Santino Marella is reportedly backstage at tonight's Impact Wrestling Sacrifice pay-per-view event. It's an Impact Plus event, according to a report by PW Insider. Now, it is currently unclear if the former WWE Intercontinental Champion and United States Champion will be making an appearance on tonight's pay-per-view or if he's just backstage visiting friends. Impact's 2022 Sacrifice event will take place from Old Forester's Paris Town Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Of course, we will be most likely going live for a post show. I was going to do a watch along, but I don't think I am because we're hearing lots of stuff, interesting stuff about tonight's WWE MSG event when it regards to Brock Lesnar and who his unnamed opponent is. Now, I haven't heard anything concrete, but by all accounts, WWE's been really secretive and there is some scuttlebutt as to who it could be, so we've kind of got to be on standby for that, so there won't be a watch along this evening, but my hope is that we'll be going live for a post-show after Sacrifice because I'll be watching it live with everyone else. So that's the plan. That's the plan for this evening. But when it comes to Santino Marella being there, I don't really know. I don't know what he would be there for. I'm looking at it and thinking, what angle would he be involved in? I'm looking up and down the card here that I've got in front of me, and I can't particularly see where he would fit in there. Now, he's not going to wrestle or take bumps, I don't think. Santino Marella's actually had quite a well-documented troubles with neck injuries. That's ultimately what ended his WWE career. He's had quite severe neck injuries, and he can't get cleared by WWE. So it's not as if he's coming in to work matches or wrestle or anything like that. So that's not going to happen. As to what he could be there for, I mean, it depends where they want to go with it. Realistically, and I know this is a bit of a stretch and I might be wrong here, but realistically, he could be involved in Deonna Purrazzo's Open Challenge, which I know sounds crazy, but this is a guy that did win a WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, WrestleMania 25 as Santina Marella, a gimmick that he revisited at the Royal Rumble in 2020, I think. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't even know if he can be Santino. I don't even know if he can be Santino or Santina Marella at an Impact Wrestling event because he doesn't own the trademark. He can be Anthony Corelli, which is his real name, but he can't be Santina Marella. So the chances are that he's probably most likely just backstage visiting friends, or you never know, he might be involved. I mean, he is Canadian, and I think he still resides in Canada. That's where the Battle Arts Academy, his pro wrestling school, is based. So being that he is Canadian, I'm sure he probably has somewhat of a relationship with Scott D'Amore, of course, Impact Wrestling Executive Vice President, famous Canadian himself. The company Anthem is based in Canada as well, and it's a Canadian business, so maybe there's some kind of crossover there too. So we'll have to wait and see whether Santino Marella is actually going to be involved on camera or if he's just behind the scenes. We know Impact Wrestling's been reshuffling a lot of things when it comes to backstage, when it comes to producers, agents, etc. This could just be a situation where Santino Marella is coming on board to work backstage for Impact Wrestling. He might just be coming on to be a producer, just to be an agent, or I don't think he'd be involved in terms of commentary or anything like that because we've heard recently the changes to the commentary team of Tom Hannifan and Matthew Rewald. And while Santino Marella or Anthony Corelli has done, I think, commentary for some of his Battle Arts Academy stuff, I think he has done commentary for that. I don't suspect that he would probably get involved in the commentary for Impact Wrestling. Again, I look at the card and I say, what else could he be involved in? I don't know. I don't know, unless it's just a pairing that we just really don't expect or don't see. But apart from that, my only thing could be maybe the Deonna Purrazzo thing, or maybe he becomes a manager for someone, but who that person would be, I have no idea. So the likelihood, I think, is that he probably is involved in a cameo or a backstage segment, or just is there to pop the crowd, or he's just there visiting friends. But we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that. A few quick predictions before we wrap this up here for the card, since we won't be doing the watch along this evening. Of course, you've got the pre-show, which is Giselle Shaw versus Lady Frost. I expect Giselle Shaw to win that one. She's obviously just debuted recently, and she beat Lady Frost in her first match in the company, so I expect that to continue. Rich Swann and Willie Mack are going to be facing Matt Taven and Mike Bennett of Honor No More. I think I expect Honor No More to win that one. Again, you know my feeling when it comes to invading factions. I feel like they have to continuously win, otherwise they're not seemed as a credible threat. Even though they've got contracts now, I think they should continue to win. So I expect Honor No More to win that one. X Division Championship, you've got Trey Miguel versus Jake Something. A curious one, because Trey Miguel's held the championship since Bound for Glory, so it would be, I guess, somewhat of a period of time has passed, and that he could drop the championship tonight. The issue is Jake Something's contractual situation. We don't know if he's signed a new contract with Impact Wrestling or not. His contract's up soon. If he's re-signed, chances are he wins the Impact X Division Championship. If he hasn't, Trey Miguel retains and he continues on. I like Jake Something. I like what they're doing with the X Division Championship in the sense that it's less of a cruiserweight championship, more of a mid-card, up-and-comer championship, which I think is the best use for it. It did great work for Josh Alexander, propelled him to becoming a world champion last year. So I like the idea of Jake Something winning the X Division Championship and eventually possibly being the guy to defeat Moose for the Impact World Championship, do a bit of an option C. Although my kind of hesitancy with that is that they did option C last year with Josh Alexander and the whole Impact World Championship situation there. But we could see a situation, I suppose, where Jake Something essentially replaces Josh Alexander should Alexander not come back to Impact Wrestling, because of course he's currently a free agent. So maybe we see a title change though. I wouldn't be shocked when it comes to that one. Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Finally, we're going to see the Inspiration face off against the Influence. The third time they've tried to do this one. They tried to do it at the No Surrender pay-per-view. It couldn't happen. No, excuse me, at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view, didn't they? But it got cancelled due to COVID protocols. They tried to do it follow-up tapings, and again, it couldn't happen due to, I think it was Tenille Dashwood was not available at that period of time. But finally, we're going to get the match tonight, and I think the Inspiration retains the titles. I'd be shocked if they drop them, frankly. You've got the Impact Tag Team Championships. The Good Brothers facing Violent by Design. I expect the Good Brothers to win because they've just really put this Impact version of the Bullet Club together. So again, I don't expect them to drop the championship so quickly. So I would think that the Good Brothers retain there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of DQ or we see the GOD get involved in that one too. So keep an eye out for that. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a last-minute change that sees the GOD get involved and then they win the titles. I could see that happening, but that would be probably the way that I would see a title change happening. John Peraza is going to be having an open challenge, of course, for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, or the ROH Women's Championship. Curious to see if we have any AEW influence now that Tony Khan, of course, is the owner of Ring of Honor. I doubt that we will, and I don't think Deonna Peraza is going to drop any of the titles here, but because I think it's leading to all three titles being on the line, with her facing Mickie James probably at Rebellion, and I think Deonna Peraza wins the titles back there. I think that's the plan, but we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that one. Alex Shelley versus Jay White, I think is probably the match everyone's looking forward to the most tonight. It's the dream match, Alex Shelley's first match back in Impact Wrestling in close to 2 years, so very excited for that, but I think Jay White wins. But I would be interested to see if Chris Sabin comes out at any point and we get a kind of Motor City Machine Guns versus Bullet Club kind of situation. Machine Guns versus Bullets, it makes total sense, doesn't it? So interested in that one, but I think Jay White wins. Mickie James versus Tasha Steelz for the Impact Knockouts World Championship. I think Mickie James wins that one. And also we have our main event, of course, Impact World Championship, Moose versus Heath, which Moose will win. But as I mentioned, this is a massive opportunity for Heath, not to win the World Championship because he's not going to win the title tonight, but to prove to people that he deserves to be involved in that kind of predicament, that situation. I've seen a lot of people on social media saying that, oh, it's a good card, but it's ruined by Heath in the main event. That's called not giving people a chance. And Heath's job is to prove to people, yeah, I didn't think he could hang, but he can hang, and he deserves to be in that picture. So it's a big night for Heath. But let me know your last-minute predictions in the comment section below, guys. As mentioned, I will try and go live for a post show, but It depends on a lot of a lot of moving parts. This might be a very newsworthy evening, so be sure to check out whatever we post later on this evening, and let me know your thoughts, as I mentioned, on today's Impact Wrestling news. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.